We're going to demonstrate how we can control a robot in robotSim using NI's LabView. So first we'll just show what the program will actually do. So we'll start the sim here, and the robot is going to drive around and avoid obstacles. You can see little lines coming off it. That's just the sonar, and we'll discuss that in a little bit. So first we're going to stop and just show how we've controlled this robot. So what we can show is how basically how you can get into the robot from LabView. So we'll just show here. There's motors. There's a left motor and a right motor, and also sonar. And these are all the devices that are on this robot. And devices are things that can be controlled. So if we actually look at the LabView code, here we have the right motor. You can see motor R, motor L, and sonar. And those are the actual names, and it's important that those names match up. So the first thing we do is we get the robot controller, and that basically just gives us a connection to the robot in robotSim. And the next step, we get a float control, motor RPMs, and see there's a motor, and the actual control is RPM. That's the control name. Those have to match up with what's in the sim. And the sonar is just the sonar and distance. Now the sonar could have been named anything; it just happened to be named sonar in this example. So what we actually do is we use simple gets and sets. So here we're getting the float. So now we're getting the distance from the sonar. So we're going to get that value and use that to control the robot. And every 50 milliseconds, we're going to get these values. We can also set floats. Those are the motors. We're going to set floats for the motors for the values for the RPM of each motor. And that happens every 50 milliseconds. So basically, we check the distance, and if it's going to be too short, then we're going to avoid an obstacle. If not, we're going to drive straight. That's all we do. So let's hit play again. And here's the devices. Just to make it absolutely clear, I'm going to go back and just show that is how you hook them up. The names must match up. So here, motor L, motor R, and sonar are all in our LabView control. Once we've pulled those out, we can then get and set values, controlling our robot and reading from our sensors. So we'll hit play. You see our sonar lines coming off. Those are just checking distance. The dark blue shows that it's the maximum distance, and the lighter colors to red and orange show that we're very close. And here's our reading in LabView. And the robot will drive around and avoid obstacles. It's that simple.